Hey guys, this is Turok. And this video is going to probably be relatively short compared to some of my others. But I had to do this. I was going to try this as a YouTube short, but I had too much to say as I tried to do that. This is involving SBS 109 of One Piece, and I was reading over it, and I was watching a comment or reading comments about people stuff. Um, this is involving Toriomo of how do they say the Romanizing it? Tori Toma of the Amazon Lily Empress. The one we just found out from Oda is uh, was of Hancock's former her predecessor, who, according to Granny Neon, died. And as I was reading through comments and watching people talk about it, I came up with a really wild theory, and I can see how some of this is going to be wrong, but I still had to come up with this because it's just so fun. That when it came in my head, it immediately seemed to fit, but I know it's not going to be likely. But also, it gives so many thoughts to other things that I hadn't thought about when I get into that part. I don't think I have a theory that Tori Toma is not really dead, that she faked her death, or Granny Neon is also covering for her. Now, not now in this case too. That was a very important part of the story because that was something important to show that if a pirate empress, the empress of Amazon Lily, gets the love sickness, they can die. And I think there's truth to that, like maybe predecessors before. But bear with me here, because I didn't want to start with the lead on this. I think Toritoma left Amazon Zilly to go out in the world uh and try to cure her love sickness, and it ended up not working in the way she wanted. Maybe she still got dumped by the person she loved. People are going over ones like Shanks and who else was there? What was the other one I liked? Oh crap. Uh, let's see. Things you do. Oh yeah, someone was saying it could have been a Marine. Could have like Aokiji. And someone said, "Oh, it'd be funny if it was Yesop or Mihawk or Monkey D. Dragon." That was a big one too, Monkey D. Dragon. If that would be funny too, if little Luffy is. I was thinking about that at first because I forgot that uh, uh, that the monarchs of Amazon Lily are not hereditary. What do they call it? Meritocracy or something? So, anyways, I guess I'll get out to the lead. I think uh, I reckon the possibility that Tori Toma is actually Sir Crocodile. Now I know, let that sink in, but I see a few reasons this is possible, and if not, this is where I reckon it can go off to other stuff with Crocodile. What if Tori Toma left Amazon Lily, went out to the world to chased after her love interest, someone who came and visited her island somehow, or came up on shore, a la like think like Little Mermaid, where she rescued Ariel rescued Prince Eric. This love wasn't reciprocated, and she went out to the world. Toritoma to try to chase after him once he left. And what if, in order to solve her problems of her love, she thought so she met a certain person who could change herself from a woman to a man, namely Ivankov, and she decided to do that. And it ended up turning her into Sir Crocodile, and she changed her identity that way, and ended up going down the path we saw Sir Crocodile on. Now, I would not. We don't understand anything about her motivations or whatnot, so I understand immediately how this will not fit in with Crocodile being a young, ambitious person who thought, after becoming a pirate, that they could go right after Whitebeard. And the only thought I have on that one right away is that perhaps she started hating all men and saw Whitebeard as some kind of epitome of manliness that she had to take down. And this is where I'm thinking that we all know that we think the scar came from Whitebeard. And I want to bring that up as a possibility too, because an immediate thing too is if you look at Whitebeard, Crocodile, and Toritoma, it's immediately gonna be like, okay, this may not work because we had actually had Oda. I had to remember this too. We have Oda's where is it here? Picture of Crocodile drawn as a woman, and I admit that's quite a bit different. The only thing I can say that kind of does help, I'll bring that one later. Uh, Toritoma, now we get a more angular face. We see the face that looks just like Crocodile's. I'm looking at his anime version more here. The first thing I want to point out is they both do wear earrings. Now she had the snake earrings just like Boa wears. The other thing, they both have dark hair. Her hair comes out more in a look more frizzy manner, but Crocodile always keeps his slicked back. If she did this exchange, she could have slicked the hair back and kept it that way to avoid. I'm thinking this is important too. I'll come up more with this later too, but I think this is part of how she avoided detection. That probably avoid her subjects and other people chasing after her if she left the island, did all this as I said, and didn't want them to find her. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's my phone, so I can finish this. I'll edit that out. Second, Toritomo does have a little, looks like a mole that would be on her right side of her face. This is look opposite because I'm facing this way with the camera. But uh, I don't know if that was something I could leave. It is nearly on level with the scar with Crocodile, not quite. So that's something that I admit could be evidence that doesn't quite work because I would think the scar, it looks like it's a little lower than his scar, so it should be still there. Uh, the next thing that I know people might say though is toothfold. One, if you look at the female version of Crocodile, it looks quite like him with the slanted eyes, and he still has cigar and the scar. But and she her eyes are much more rounded. But I would like to point out something. I was looking back. Maybe this is different in the anime, but I was looking back at the moment when Ivankov, because this is pivotal too. Ivankov obviously is very pivotal to this whole thing. But the moment where Ivankov is revealed and he's facing off, this gentleman comes in who's a prisoner of another, and is mad at Ivankov for turning his father into a woman. When he changes over, the image, the physique of the person changes so much, even the face, that you almost couldn't even tell that gentleman, they didn't give his name, when he's changed into a woman, was the same person. The only thing that really changed there was obviously he had facial hair, and he had a really strong jaw, this gentleman did, and then he changes over. He had a very distinct look in some ways, almost like Crocodile in some ways, especially he had his slick back hair. He lost his facial hair, his feminine features as he changes became completely different, and the eyes came a little similar, so that doesn't help me at all. But the only thing that really stayed on there is that this gentleman had a scar across his left shoulder, and that remains there, there. But that could be overlooked here by this Toritoma's instance, as she became Crocodile and went after Whitebeard as a man, perhaps not underestimating his strength, which would not be out of the norm either, because we know that the Boa and her tribe, as we saw them against Luffy, underestimated him completely, and are in an isolated area where they very rarely meet men from outside of there. And I have a strong feeling that even many of the vice admirals and other pirates of, like, say, Doflamingo's caliber, for example, because we know how, like, his strength compared to, like, Whitebeard's and Kaido are really good, and even someone like them would be someone like Doflamingo perhaps would be underestimated as well by the Amazon Lily citizens, and so uh, the Toritoma, under this pretense I suggested earlier of trying to take down Whitebeard because he's this epitome of manliness that she now despises, went after him afterward and then gained the scar. So the obvious thing I'm saying here is that if she had the scar beforehand, even if she got well, this picture of her is like a more normal picture. Maybe like when she was at the island, she has the same robe look. She could have got that scar as a woman in this theory, and then still turned into crocodile's look afterward. Um, now where was that page here? Sorry, there was the where was I gonna go with that? So in that regard, yes, I suspect the image. What I'm trying to get to is because there's also that image of crocodile as a child, and Oda drew that quite a bit a long time ago. And I know he writes out some certain things. They say he has a lot of this planned ahead, but uh, I still feel like that was something. If I am right, I'm welcome to be wrong on this, but this is just a fun one I had again. Oda could have been drawing that crocodile child form many years ago. I'm trying to think how long. I was probably I had to be over a decade ago, and would not have maybe considered. Sometimes he might even throw it off. So that's the other thing. Oda might just do that stuff differently to throw us off. Oda does not want all his secrets revealed, and people like myself and many other really big YouTubers, we love diving into this stuff. And we know that because Oda knows all this, he might be trying to throw us off the trail. It's one other thing. And I know I'm using that into my defense, but I'm putting it out there that Oda seems to want to be very careful to hide stuff. Look how carefully he's doing now with Egghead and having Vegapunk as his mouthpiece tell some stuff, but he's hiding so much, keeping so much to cards close to hide the will of D and whatnot. So where was I going with that now? So back to this Jeff, this thing. Yes, if the other thing I was thinking about actually regarding him doing this too, other than if or her Tori Toma hiding her identity, is her perhaps because we found out that Boa Hancock, she became a warlord as soon as she was nominated and coronated as the next Empress of the Amazon Lily. So my thoughts were part of the reason she Toritoma could do this or would want to do this as part of hiding her identity is that she may have been a wanted pirate by the Marines, and while she was traveling the world seeking her lover or seeking revenge against Whitebeard, she was being pursued by the Marines and had a decent bounty, and would figure, okay, if I change my entire identity, female to male, the Marines aren't going to realize it. I'll change up the way I dress, even. She, the uh, Amazon Lily, she was always wearing the Boa was always wearing a robe of sorts. And actually, now that I'm looking at this too, I just caught that. Uh, where is Crocodile's regular picture? Hold on. His outfit. I'm right. Look at that. Actually, this is interesting. If you look at the female picture of Crocodile, the female swap that Oda drew, I notice that she is wearing a robe very similar that goes down toward the cleavage, where Crocodile is always wearing a button-up shirt with the little ascot. We never see him, as far as I remember, any images of him wearing something close to that. His other outfit's always the his prison outfit. So that almost there looks like a clue that may help with what I am saying here. And lastly, with the hook, I'm not so sure about that. My first thoughts on that was like, oh, maybe she lost it to Whitebeard, and my second thought was like maybe she was so in her love sickness was so bad that she just cut her hand off to try and cause physical pain in order to ease her love sickness. Perhaps she knew that uh, love the love sickness was going to take her, and she had to like distract herself. And I don't know if that's realistic to happen, but I've seen that kind of stuff happen a lot in other manga and anime where a character is under the some kind of spell or something. I'm thinking, oh, Trigun or something like that in Trigun. I was rewatching it a couple months ago, and he's fighting that weird assassin, and he had to do something and inflict pain to help turn off her weird hypnotic stuff that was making it hard for him to detect her. So I'm reaching out on a limb a little bit with that, but I'm thinking that was self-inflicted, cutting off her own hand in this theory to uh, ease off the love sickness. So I think that covers everything I thought of. So also that's the last thing. If I'm wrong here, one last thing too. If the love sickness, this is where I'm thinking this ties into lots of fun theories again, revolving around how um, Ivankov said he knew Crocodile's secret past, and this is why I was trying to tie into stuff with like saying she was hiding her identity. Ivankov Hathaway said he knew when him and Luffy met Crocodile, and he said, "Don't worry, Luffy, we can let him out. I know his secret past." Crocodile, obviously, this is something that's relevant to in other characters, changing their history, where like they change up their own new identity. There's like that one movie with Johnny Depp where he's a criminal. He was a criminal, and his character did a lot of plastic surgery or something and looked completely different. And the Interpol's chasing him, and throughout the movie, Johnny Depp's character is playing innocent, but we find out at the end he really was this criminal that everyone's looking for, but they just couldn't recognize him because of that. So in that similar vein, if Crocodile is what's her name, Tori Toma, she might be wanting to hide that whole past behind her because she was wanted as a pirate as her previous self, and wanted to create this whole identity. She worked hard. She went out there maybe in the world, started being a pirate as Crocodile. Uh, the other thing I know it might be a little off about this is the age. I see people suggesting she was in her late 30s and Crocodile's 46 to 48. So all I can think on that is the ages are being a get. I don't see an official age for her yet, and also maybe Crocodile is lying about the age, and maybe you know Toritoma looks like someone who took care of herself, and Crocodile, other than his cigars, looks like he's quite looking very healthy. And so maybe the age is maybe Crocodile is a little bit older, or Toritoma is in that form is than what we know him to be. Uh, oh yeah, so back with Ivankov. With Ivankov not to know her secret past. This leads to one other thing though. I'm just thinking about to Crocodile himself. I am wondering if Toritoma is not Crocodile. I am wondering if this part of where I'm Crocodile building up a new history. I am thinking that this could be the lead we need to theorize more on Crocodile perhaps being somebody else before under a new alias before that was that they wanted to erase their past and went to Ivankov to do so. So we've had that theory for this theory's been going on longer than I was a fan of One Piece, or really. But there was this idea that the immediate one is that Ivankov's abilities can change Crocodile. So if I'm wrong about Toritoma, this is a good opportunity for us though to look into other characters that might be the same age and similar look if they were swapped as Crocodile, and see if Oda drew anyone like that anywhere in his manga ever. With dark hair, maybe very tall. Maybe you look for some kind of small scar similar to that. I don't think Oda has any other characters with one hand though. I think Crocodile's one of those specific ones where Oda wanted to have them with the one arm, and he's saving characters. What's he got? The one leg or the eye patch? So I don't know if we can look for that, but I'm thinking we could look for other clues to as far as Crocodile goes to uh be an alias. Look for another, like I said, look for another character. Actually, that was the last theory. I have another one more wild one. I was wondering with Crocodile too. I've started going on wild theories on Crocodile related with the Amazon Lily. Um, what I was starting to think, because Amazon Lily is all these tribe of women, but like, do they go out in the world and meet men and then they procreate? I was starting to wonder if Crocodile was ashamed of his past because maybe he's someone who was born from one of the Amazon Lily citizens, or even more so, the maybe this pirate Empress before this Toritoma, if she is like was like in her 30s or 40s when because let's see, Hancock took over 12 years ago. No, if she had to be old, so it couldn't be. It probably couldn't be Toritoma's child. What if she was like Shaka? It had to be Shaka would be the only one old enough. If it was an Empress or Granny Neon. I was just thinking about that because he's such Crocodile has such a high status of wanting to be this macho guy that what if he was ashamed of his past because he was raised by the Amazon Lily people some one way or the other. Maybe he was not even born among them, but being born among them would be a funnier, more interesting twist, in my opinion. That he wanted to leave there and stake his own, make his way in the world, and he didn't want to be associated with this island of women. Um, so there you have it. Just my whole wild theories that came up when I read about this Toritoma and saw the, everyone's opinions. Because I saw some people were the other ones. They thought maybe Shanks was her. Everyone's trying to look at characters that she may have been in love with, and Crocodile was my first one I thought of, and then it led me along this path of thinking. So uh, it'd be really interesting if I'm right, but at the same time, any of these other tangent derivatives of this, we find really interesting, and I want to past Oda to have something really cool about this. But if I'm wrong, then I'm sorry, Tori Toma, that you couldn't have the man you fell in love with reciprocate, and that you had to pass as you did. And that's all I have for today. Thank you.